Hi kids, it's me, Dave. Kaylin's not on screen today because she doesn't look very good.
Hey, I'm still here. I'm just reading off screen.
Okay, well, I've got my toys out today. That's how we're going to do the story, so let's go.
Okay, so we're continuing our journey through the Jesus Storybook Bible, and today's story is all about Joseph and his brothers. Now, Jacob had 12 sons. Dave, can you count that high?
Of course I can count that high. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.
Dave.
5.
Dave, 6 comes after 5.
Oh, okay, my bad. 6.
7.
7.
8.
8.
9.
9.
10.
10.
11.
11.
12.
12.
Dave, you have too many men.
No, it's good. It's all good.
Okay. So, Jacob had 12 sons, but of all his sons, Joseph was his favorite. One day, Jacob gave Joseph a splendid new robe. A splendid new robe, Dave.
Okay. Sweet.
What is that? That's a dirty sock.
It's a splendid new robe.
Smelly sock.
Okay.
Oh, well, it was beautiful and rich with all the colors of the rainbow. But it made Joseph's brothers very jealous. They wanted rich rainbow robes too. Then, to make matters worse, Joseph kept on having these special dreams. I dreamed I was the greatest. I was king, Joseph told his brothers. And you all bowed down to me.
Huh. You know what, Kaylin? I had a very similar dream recently. I dreamt that I was far greater than you. In fact, I'm much better looking and nicer, and the kids prefer me.
Let's just carry on with the story, Dave.
Okay.
Now, I know you're sure, even if Joseph didn't, that telling your brothers things like that isn't a very good idea. Joseph's brothers hated him even more. They wanted to kill Joseph and his dreams. And one day, that's exactly what they tried to do. They tore Joseph's rainbow robe off of him, and they sold him to slave traders. Dave, slave traders, not the circus.
It's not the circus, it's just slave traders. Look, they're even paying the guys lots of money. Bah, ha, ha.
For 20 pieces of silver. The traders took Joseph to Egypt, and they made him into a slave. The brothers went home, and they lied to their father, telling him that Joseph was dead.
Lied?
Dave, what's the police car for?
He's coming to speak to the brothers. Where's Joseph? Where? And who's telling lies here? You guys are going to jail.
Hang on, Dave. They didn't go to jail. Unfortunately, there were no police or jailers in those days, and so nothing bad happened to Joseph's brothers.
Oh my word. Well, so what happened? What happened next?
Well, they got away with it, and they lied to their father. They told their father that Joseph was dead. That's the end of that dreamer, they thought. But they were wrong. God had a magnificent dream for Joseph's life. And even when it looked like everything had gone wrong, God would use it all to help make the dream come true. God would use everything that was happening to Joseph to do something good. Meanwhile, though, things were not looking good for Joseph in Egypt. He was far from home and far from his dad. and he got blamed for something that he didn't do. And even though he'd done nothing wrong, he was punished and thrown in jail.
Poof! In jail you go. Hey, Kaylin, you know what? I think you might need to go to jail. I saw that you stole my sweets. That's not very nice. I can't believe you did it. Take my dirty sock.
No, Dave, it wasn't even me.
Oh, my bad.
You ate those sweets.
That's right. So is that what happened to Joseph? He got blamed for something he didn't do?
Yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't fair. But God had not left Joseph. One night, Pharaoh, that's the king of Egypt, had a scary dream.
Da, 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 da.
Dave, I said the Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. Not Star Wars Darth Vader.
I didn't have a pharaoh, so, he's the best I could do for a bad guy.
Oh, well, I guess that's okay. So, the Pharaoh had a scary dream about thin cows gobbling up fat cows. What on earth did it mean? Dave, I never said anything about a dragon.
It's not a dragon, it's a yellow cow. You see them all the time. It's eating the other cows. That's what he saw in his dream.
Well, Pharaoh didn't know what his dream meant. But Joseph was a dream expert, and so the Pharaoh sent for him. Joseph said, "It means a famine is coming."
A famine? What's a famine?
It means there won't be enough food for everyone, Dave.
There won't be enough food? Oh, my poor little tummy. Kaylin, go make me a sandwich.
Oh, Dave. Pharaoh was so pleased by Joseph's skill that he immediately took Joseph out of jail and made him a prince. Now back home, Joseph's brothers ran out of food and everyone was hungry. God's special family was in danger. If they didn't get food soon, they would soon starve to death. So Joseph's brothers traveled to Egypt to buy food. They came and they knelt before the new prince. His brothers didn't know that the prince was Joseph, but Joseph knew who they were. Joseph's dream, the one about his brothers bowing down to him, was coming true. "It's me," Joseph cried. And when they saw that it was Joseph, his brothers were afraid. They had wronged Joseph. They had sinned against him. Now Joseph would certainly punish them.
Time to be punished, boys!
Dave, where did you get that hammer from?
It's punish time!
And a pin! Dave, what are you doing?
They deserve punishment for what they did!
No, Dave, stop! Let me finish reading the story. Joseph didn't punish or torture his brothers. In fact, he forgave them. Even though his brothers had hurt him and hated him and wanted him dead, in spite of everything, he could not stop loving them. His heart, which they had broken, filled up with love, and Joseph forgave them. He threw his arms around them. "Don't be afraid," he said. "Behind what you were doing, underneath everything that was happening, God was doing something good. God was making everything right again." And so Joseph didn't punish them. He rescued them. He brought God's special family to live safely with him. One day, God would send another prince, a young prince, whose heart would break. Like Joseph, he would leave his home and his father. Dave, what's the big cross for?
The cross is to show us who the other prince was. The other prince was Jesus.
Oh yes, that's right. Jesus came and he died for our sins so that we could also be forgiven. He would be sold for pieces of silver. He would be punished even though he'd done nothing wrong. But God would use everything that happened to this young prince, even the bad things, to do something good, to forgive the sins of the whole world.
Wow, that's amazing. So, not only does Jesus forgive us, but I just saw Joseph forgive his brothers because of what God did for him. So, that must mean we should forgive others.
I forgive you, Dave.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Kaylin. And hey, kids, you need to go forgive your brothers and sisters for when they hurt you, because that's what Jesus did for us. Okay, so let's get to the next story, Kaylin. I'm ready. Let's go.
Well, Dave, as usual, this is the part where the kids go and ask their parents to read to them from Genesis chapter 37. And then they come back next week to hear the next story.
Ah! Why? To be continued every time.